What is up, guys? It is Tony from Mobile Paintball. Today I've got two powerhouses that are brand new to the market. It is the Dye DLS versus the Planet Eclipse CS3.
And why? Because who's the best source for paintball?
That is LoneWolfPaintball.com. So yes, whoa, two brand new guns that just hit the market at World Cup. We've got the DLS, we've got the CS3. We're gonna hit price points, we're gonna hit their cases, and then we're gonna dive on into them. Price points for the Dye DLS, these things retail $16.95 for the standard colors. If you want PGA, I believe they're $18.95. And only from what I hear, 500 of these guns are going to be made. So 500 made, that's it. Moving on to the Planet Eclipse CS3. Not a number on how many of those are going to be made, probably a lot, definitely more than 500. These ones retail at $17.50. So pretty close in price point. That's why we're bringing this little battle comparison to you guys. DLS case, what comes inside. So this is what the DLS case looks like. Nice hard outer shell. You're gonna have two barrel backs, one already on the gun, obviously, one in the case, and then you've got your USB charger, you've got a parts kit, you've got your owner's manual and guide, you've got your warranty card, and obviously you've got a barrel cover, a nice tool kit, some lube, and Mark, you got your little plug-in stick, your little USB one as well. Okay, so that's the case for the DLS, set that over there. Over here to the Planet Eclipse CS3. Once again, another kind of updated hard case, same as the LV2. Two barrel backs as well, one on the gun. You get your blue 685. What is this? Different bolt tip, full parts kit, barrel cover, paper manual, and then obviously a tool kit, and then the slot for the gun. So, all right, cases off, prices off. Let's get into the battle here. Which one do you want to start with, Mark? Or you want to bounce back and forth?
Oh, man, you gave me choices. Now you're throwing me off.
Okay.
Just do one at a time. Let's do the DLS first.
DLS first. So brand new on the market. We're going to take it off the stand here. So first things first, you've got that Dye ULS barrel. We'll start from the tip and go there. So obviously you guys know Dye has been known for a long time. Their boomsticks and all that. ULS, ultralights, very, very nice barrel. You can buy plenty of barrel backs for these as well if you don't have the correct size that you guys want. Next things, we're gonna go to the feed neck. It does have that clamping feed neck. You're gonna use your Allen wrench here, and then you do have the lever that is going to, obviously, depending on what hopper you're using, you've got the clamping lever on your all aluminum feed neck. Let's look at the body since we're talking. I don't want to get into the best part of this gun yet to me, which is the Paragon Core, but new milling on the body. Can you see that pretty well, Mark?
A little bit, just kind of tilted and whatnot so the light hits it. And,
okay, yeah, it's not a nice new sleek design. So pretty much this was based off kind of like the lurker model. So yeah, looking super crispy. I like that they definitely updated the milling on this body. So now, since we're up top, we are going to talk about this core here, Mark. We're going to pull this bad boy on out. So we've got the Paragon Core here. The best and most simple thing about this gun, if you want to call it simple, is a lot of the O-rings from the previous models of the Dye guns have been eliminated. They're trying to increase their air efficiency without much maintenance on these markers, which I'll show you exactly what's happening. You've got your independent valve in core here. So pretty much this bad boy, these are going to be operating in two different sessions. So right here, this spring here in the back is the biggest part and feature about this core while trying to keep the air efficiency increased. A lot of people have asked about the operating pressure. I'll touch on that real quick. I believe Billy sat around 120 to 125, but that really doesn't matter in this case since you don't see this often in high-end guns. You've got the valve operating independently. So pretty much what happens here, this bolt's coming forward to kind of help finish the shot, and the valve is closing at the same time, which they're working independent here. And when the valve closes sooner on a different level, you're going to be saving air and not wasting that out of your tank. So I believe that Billy said under the right circumstances, around a case of paint can be shot off a 77 cubic inch tank with this new Paragon core here. So I like that die. If you guys know anything about die, you would normally look at their drivetrain and be like, wow, there's so many different O-rings involved with this, but no, not the case with the new DLS, I can tell you that much. Super, super air efficient. And stay tuned, because we are going to do an efficiency test on this to really see how many pods can we get off a 77 CI tank with this bad boy.
So that marker's worth buying just on what I'm going to save on O-rings alone. That's great.
Yeah, the O-rings alone, and obviously the lurker that never came to, you know, I'd say the lurker. It never, the marker that they were producing never came to fruition. So Dye definitely got a hold of them on that and made it happen. Obviously that is a push button here with the little Paragon. So we're gonna push that in here. Trigger wise, Mark, I believe this is their version of the Edge 2 trigger, I wanna say.
Looks like it.
Yeah, so we got the Edge 2 and you can flip it on over and you can see, you've got the screen here. It kind of looks like, does it look like the M3 Plus, Mark?
It does. This is the first time I've seen it turned on, so that's really cool. It is full color, green,
full
white,
color OLED,
orange.
so we got the OLED full color on there. And near the bottom, you have that slaps ASA. So obviously, if you turn an air on and off, you've got the new, well, not new, but still integrated onto this new marker is that slaps ASA. And regulator-wise, you've got that Hyper 6S Pro here. Obviously, super, super consistent and maintaining the function with this bad boy. Other than that, I mean, there's tons. I mean, really, the hugest thing about this, other than the updated milling, is going to be this Paragon core. No doubt about it. Like I said, we are going to do an efficiency test on this, and we're going to see how many pods we can get off the 77.
Now, I remember something Billy said, something about free wires, some kind of connectors. Is that from dropping the frame?
Yes. Oh, yeah. Yeah. So when you actually get a hold of that frame in here, it's going to be all free wired in here. You don't have to worry about pinching eye wires or anything like that.
Okay, cool.
So we're going to throw that back on the stand. And we're going to go on to the CS3. So Planet Eclipse CS3. What do we need to know about this? You guys have probably seen this barrel before. It is that S63. Like I said, it's come with those two different barrel inserts. It's a 3-piece modular barrel system. So if you guys haven't seen this, check out our previous videos on the LV2. And I think we might even have a standalone video on the S63 barrel itself. Once again, the CS3 coming with, you've got your clamping feed neck up top. And then the thing I like about this a little bit better than that DLS is you've got the thumb wheel. So instead of busting out your Allen wrenches, you can actually just hand tighten with the thumb wheel here, depending on hopper you're using, and be on your way. So now we are on to, we're gonna go, the milling is a little bit different, nothing too crazy. It's definitely slimmed down, as Planet always does. So now you know it's a CS3. You've got a few, I don't know if you'll be able to see, Mark, in the back, dashes. There's like 3 little dashes here. 1, 2, 3, they kind of did the same thing with like their Geo4 line. And there's a couple dashes up top right here in front of the feed neck as well. It's got 3 little dashes, so I would assume that is how they kind of put a significant mark on their guns or whatnot.
Well, isn't that where you put your thumb when you shoot?
Yeah, you can. Obviously, it adds a little grip, but it's just pretty interesting to me that there's 3 little dashes. There's also 3 little dashes here, 3 little dashes in the back. So we'll digress from that, but we're talking about their OP core drivetrain now. Overpower, I believe, is what they call it. So we'll pull that bad boy on out. Inside here, this is what it looks like. You've got, compared to the CS2 model, 50% larger chamber capacity within. So this helps allow the gun to operate at 95 to 105 PSI. Pretty air efficient. Less operating pressure normally means it's going to be more air efficient, but not always the case depending on what tank. And pretty much paint. Obviously, weather has a huge factor into it. One thing I did not mention though, Mark, is talking about the feed neck. They do have, I think it's called like their Def Tech breech system. So they kind of offset the feed neck in here. So if you guys are shooting, sometimes you got bad paint or your loader's not functioning to its full capacity, it's kind of offset. So paintballs don't shoot back up into your feed neck, which when that happens, you guys are going to be breaking a lot of paint. So I believe they call it their Def Tech breech system.
It is.
So yeah, so they offset it inside here so paint's not coming back up into the feed neck if you're having loader issues. Really, really smart move by Planet Eclipse. I like that a lot. One thing I'm gonna notice here though, Mark, before we kind of dive into the grips and how these are kind of waterproofed, is the DLS, since they're very, very limited run, they are not, as far as I know when this video is being shot, making a mechanical frame conversion for this. So right now I know their DSR Plus does, but this new DLS won't have one, I believe. Not the case with the CS3. The CS3 definitely has a mech frame available for it. Also easily installed, and you can put some electronics into this bad boy for game timers and such. So just kind of wanted to retouch on that just so, because it's going to be a question. So figured I'd answer that now. Okay, we went over the drive core. You've got your blade trigger here. It's a 5-point adjustable trigger, so you can kind of set it up to however you personal preference to each player. So you can set it up to how you like. I do like their grip system here. You will notice here in the back, and then their board system, all of these are sealed buttons now. So if you guys do play in crappy weather, take a muddy, sloppy dive into a puddle, all these buttons are sealed. I'm not gonna say waterproof, but they're definitely not gonna they're gonna help with not having a bunch of water get into your marker. We're gonna peel these off in the back. So slide those off. And then, because this was one of the biggest things down at Cup Fish showed us, was the board component system. They've got everything on the inside here, very, very nice and tight. This is also Bluetooth compatible if you're using that ePortal Lite app. So if you want to kind of download the app on your phone or your computer, and you guys can kind of set up personal shooting settings however you guys would like. So they did a new modular settings with their board components too. We have a full unboxing, if you want to call it that, video down at Cup, and going over the new grips and all that good stuff. And it does have a redesigned ASA too. So redesigned, remilled ASA. I do like that. So Planet Eclipse definitely stepped it up. Adding some key, because a lot of people had things to say about this marker, like what did they really do to it? So they definitely put some more thought into the new design of this marker. And I like it because these grips are toolless like the other ones.
Since you mentioned the ASA, it's an updated, basically it's the slaps, just a newer version on the CS3, correct?
No, it's the pops. The slaps is the DLS, okay. But the pop, it's just like an updated pops. Yep, obviously new milling on there, but same. It's gonna do pretty much the same thing as the other ones do, just updated per se, and their regulator as well. So
we didn't talk about the ASA on the DLS. That's why I brought it up.
No, we did.
Did you?
Yeah, I touched on the slaps.
Did you?
Mark, you're just getting old behind the camera.
I can't remember. So many key points. I'm glad we have full overviews on both of these.
Correct. Yeah, this was just a quick little battle of why would I want to kind of buy one over the other.
All right. So yeah, you said it. Bullet to the head. Which one are you picking up? Because they're only a $50 price point difference, really.
I was gonna say both spool valve guns per se. Bullet to the head. Oh man. I would, at this point, probably go with the DLS. I really like how they got the new Paragon Core in here. You don't see many of the high-end guns operating with the valve independent. So I like that. I'm gonna say the DLS. CS3 is a great gun. I always love my Planet guns too, so no complaints on either of them, but Mark said bullet to the head. I'm gonna go with the DLS, give that one a shot, because normally I pick Planet guns. So quick little comparison, short little overview of the CS3 versus the DLS. Both brand new on the market, and they are both available at lomopaintball.com.
See ya.